everyone is present. I'll review and remind everyone the purpose of this public presentation. The purpose of the proposed amendments to the Miramichi Municipal Plan is to permit a change in land use designation from commercial and institutional to residential for the subject properties described as PIDs 402-61760, 402-62917, and a 7,075 meter squared portion of PID 402-61786, all located at 306 Water Street in the city of Miramichi to enable the conversion of the existing Catholic Church rectory building into a 3-unit dwelling. I'll call upon Nick Odette, Planning Services Manager for the Greater Miramichi Regional Service Commission, to introduce the proposed municipal plan amendment. Mr. Odette, welcome, and I'll turn things over to you.
All right, thank you, Mayor Lorden. All right, so I'll get right into an overview of the application. As mentioned, the amendments are required to enable the conversion of the existing Catholic Church rectory on the property into a 3-unit dwelling. Location overview here. You can see the subject property. It's a very tiny blue dot on the screen. It's located in the Chatham Head area, close to the regional hospital. I've outlined the approximate area of the subject properties as they will look when they are consolidated. So this proposed development includes a subdivision as well, or a consolidation of properties as well. So you can see here that the rectory building will be subdivided off from the existing Catholic Church. I understand both are currently for sale. This is another view of the subject area of the properties. So overall, this proposed lot, which is to be 2023-1, the area is almost exactly 2 acres. Access is to be from Water Street via a proposed easement over the church property. As you can see here, the proposed lot will not include any of the current access to Water Street, so they will need an easement. Municipal services here are available. However, new connections are likely required because currently they do receive services tied into the church. So the current church rectory building will be converted into a 3-unit dwelling. Each unit will have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms each. There are multiple entrances and exits to the building now, so the applicant saw this as a good opportunity to convert it into a multi-unit. There's multiple changes to doors and windows to conform to building code. Looking at the mapping, there is an existing parking area and a garage adjacent to the rectory. And any potential new development, like new buildings, etc., would be subject to the R3 zone requirements. Just going over some photos now. These were taken from the real estate listing, so from Keller Williams. This is earlier in the year when the property was on the market. It's a view of the front. This is a view of the side looking east, so you can see the garage there. The church would be just behind you. Another view of the garage on the side of the rectory. This is a view looking from behind, so you can see the church in behind the rectory building and the garage. This demonstrates the multiple entrances and exits and ways to get into the building. This is the site plan that was submitted by the surveyor, so it also serves as a tentative subdivision plan. Really, it just demonstrates the location of the existing buildings and the entrances to the property. I'll take you through the applicant's floor plans. So these are considered conceptual at this point, but they did go ahead and engage a professional to prepare them. Generally, it shows each unit occupying one entire floor, including the basement of the building. And as mentioned, each unit has 3 bedrooms, 2 washrooms, a kitchen, and a living area. So everything you'd expect from a typical large apartment. Looking at the planning considerations now from the municipal plan, Currently, it's designated as institutional under Schedule A of the future land use map. Schedule B designates it as a mixed residential area. And Schedule D, which is the road hierarchy, designates Water Street in this area as a collector road. In general, the plan works to ensure that the utilization of land that maximizes existing infrastructure and services and promoting a diversity of housing options in the city. Overall, the plan does support increased residential development and multi-unit residential development in the city. Looking at this proposal more specifically, the applicant intends for this to be used by healthcare workers, specifically contract or travel nurses. So it provides smaller units suitable for working professionals, potentially young families. The plan also emphasizes the importance of healthcare in the city. This provision of units available for rental to travel nurses would support the profession in the city and positively influence the healthcare in the region by providing housing for staff. A lack of suitable and available housing is often cited as a major barrier to filling job vacancies across many industries in the area, but especially healthcare. Looking at the zoning bylaw analysis now. So the proposed 3-unit dwelling is not permitted under the current zoning designations of the property, which include neighborhood commercial, but the larger portion of property is designated institutional. The requested zone, which is medium density AR3, it does allow for up to a 10-unit apartment building. However, the R3 zone does not allow for multiple main uses or multiple main buildings. Staff note this because further development on the property would not be permitted. For instance, if they wanted to develop another apartment building, that would not be allowed. Of course, a building permit is required for the proposed redevelopment of the building, and the applicant has already contacted planning services to begin this process. As always, council can impose additional conditions on the development if they wish, utilizing Section 59 of the Community Planning Act. Looking at the surrounding area, there's a wide variety of uses and zones in this area, including R2 residential, R4, neighborhood commercial, institutional, and highway commercial. The subject properties are primarily surrounded by residential uses, but also low-impact commercial uses and institutional. Some of these include the regional hospital, Chatham Head Rec and Community Center, a bakery, and various home construction businesses. Overall, staff analysis is that the proposed development should not present an intensity in the level of traffic, noise, and overall activity that would surpass the existing conditions and patterns of activity in the neighborhood. We feel that it's unlikely that residents and businesses in the area will notice or object to the change in use, nor is it expected to generate a noticeable increase in traffic or noise. However, specific neighborhood impacts could be identified as this moves forward into the public hearing process, which is scheduled for 30 days from now. So as always, we reached out to various departments for comment on this proposal. The city's Director of Public Works provided comments, which I'll summarize here. They provided specifics on the water service location, as well as the sewer line. It seemed that, again, these services were located or accessed through the church building. So ultimately it was recommended that there be new connections for both. City Director of Engineering provided further comments. If the developer wishes to increase the size of the services, it will need to be discussed with the department, and there could be a fee. Because there is no site work, there is no requirements to satisfy in terms of access or drainage. The city's Director of Economic Development and Tourism provided comment, quote, "Housing remains a top priority for the community and region. Housing availability for the healthcare workers is one of the top concerns raised during a recent regional labor force development strategy survey. This proposed development is within walking distance of the hospital and appears to be a good fit, provided that the clientele remains as proposed." So the PRAC views and recommendation. This was passed by resolution at the July 18th, 2023 meeting. Pursuant to Section 110.1 of the Community Planning Act, it is the view of the Planning Review and Adjustment Committee of the Greater Miramichi Regional Service Commission that the City of Miramichi amend 1. Schedule A, future land use map of the City of Miramichi Municipal Plan, Bylaw 109, to change the designations from commercial for PIDs 40261760 and 40262917, and institutional for PID 40261786 to residential. And 2, Schedule A, zoning map of the City of Miramichi zoning bylaw, Bylaw 110, to change the zoning designations from neighborhood commercial for PIDs 40261760 and 40262917, and institutional for PID 40261786, to change it to medium density A R3. This is for the previously mentioned subject properties, including a 7,075 square meter portion of PID 40261786, located at 306 Water Street in the City of Miramichi, to enable the conversion of the existing Catholic Church rectory building into a 3-unit dwelling, subject to the following terms and conditions pursuant to Section 59 of the Community Planning Act. That the subject properties be consolidated in general accordance with the tentative subdivision plan, which is Plan 2023-2, dated June 26, 2023, submitted by the applicant to Planning Services prior to the required building permit for the project being issued. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Odette. So I will review for everyone now the next step in the process. The city clerk's office will receive written objections to the proposed bylaw amendment. A public hearing, it should really say will be open to receive written objections to the proposed bylaw amendment. A public hearing is scheduled for October 24th, 2023 at 6 p.m. at City Hall, 141 Henry Street, to consider written objections. Anyone wishing to support or oppose those written objections may do so at that time. Also at that time, of course, there'll be an opportunity for questions and comments from members of council. So with that, I will adjourn the public presentation for this evening. Thank you. 2 minutes. We were close. So for the public, we have to wait until the next meeting is scheduled for 6:15, so we must wait until 6:15 to begin the meeting. We can start late, but we can't start early.